We're back.
We're back.
I missed us. I hope the listeners missed us.
I don't think it matters.
Oh.
We missed each other, and that's all that we need to know.
That's right. Yeah.
We only speak when it's being recorded. So
That's right.
We have not talked in 2 months.
Nope. Haven't even looked at one another. Said save it. Save it for the podcast.
Like the idea that we never see each other except recording.
Gonna save it. Save the good stuff.
Save all the good stuff.
I mean, it's spooky season. Here we are.
Here we are.
Spooky for Halloween, spooky for the election coming up. It's spooky.
It's spooky.
Scared as hell.
Scared as hell.
It is kind of a scary time.
Yes.
I mean,
yes. So like we said last time, we're going back to the years. We're looking at stuff we haven't talked about before. Going back. But first, we wanted to take advantage of spooky season and talk about Halloween.
A very special episode. Halloween memories.
You know what we haven't done for almost 2 months now is unmitigated gall.
Whew.
I'm full of gall.
I am too.
Full to the brim.
Full up on gall.
I'm all gold out.
Yeah. All right. Who wants to go first with some unmitigated gall?
I think Aaron should go first.
Okay.
Oh, all
Go for it, Aaron.
Okay.
I was going to say,
Well, I mean,
we're rusty. We don't know how to do this anymore.
We are rusty. I had a lot of things I was going to bring up for unmitigated gall because there's some stuff. My hips.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Dunkin' Donuts. We're in a fight.
Oh.
And yeah.
Okay.
So, but given that it's political season, I'm going to go with Marionette Miller Meeks. Specifically.
She's so stupid.
Yes, so dumb.
Since I don't remember who this is, I'm sure the listeners don't remember. Who is this?
She is running she's a representative in where my county is in Iowa, and Christina Bohannon is her opponent, who is the Democratic opponent. That's
And what
who
are
I'm
they running
voting
for?
It's a Senate or House of Representatives seat. Yeah.
It should also be noted that Marionette Miller Meeks has been running for office for years and years and years and years. And she won last time. It was the first time she'd won in quite some time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And by they had to recount the ballots by a very slim margin.
Okay.
Regardless, somehow I ended up on her phone call list.
Oh, no.
And I don't know if she just peppered the whole county or what, because Mike got them too.
Like actually calling you or texting?
Well, first it was an automated call. So it rings. It's not a number I recognize. Let it ring through. And then it's a voicemail. It's her voice telling you she was going to be at this town hall or she's going to be here. We're looking for your vote. I let it go, count them the first 5 times. The 6th time, the number, I recognized it was the same number. I picked up the call to see if, is it just robo even if you pick it up? And it was. But I figured that towards the end, there's a way, if you listen long enough, they're like, you can press 0 to unsubscribe.
Okay, yeah.
So I press 0, hangs up on me. 0 is not a way to unsubscribe. That's not a real thing. So 6th time, I'm like, okay, fine, I tried, whatever, it's getting close. And then the 7th time just hit me on the wrong day, at the wrong time. And I was enraged. I was sitting at my desk, and I was looking up Marionette Miller Meeks' office. And I called, and I got a staffer, and I said, take me off the list. The unsubscribe doesn't work. Well, do you know all of Mary? I said, this is not a time. This is not the time.
Room.
This is not the time. I said, I will never, ever vote for her. I don't care if she loses this time. I don't care if she loses 8 more times. I'm never going to give her a sympathy vote. I'm never going to give her any of those things. I disagree with every single one of her policies. So no, I don't want to hear anything about it. I just want off the list. Okay, well, we would really... No encouraging! I stopped her. I said, no, you're not encouraging me to do anything except take me off the list. And she's like, okay, ma'am, we'll take you off the list.
And did they?
I haven't gotten any more calls.
Oh, good. Okay.
That's good. Usually, sometimes, people will say they're going to take you off the list, and it's but it
they
takes 2
don't.
weeks to process and shit like that.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah. So I don't know.
I love that they were just we have to offer the option to unsubscribe, but guess what?
Don't go
It's
anywhere.
just a trick.
It doesn't go anywhere. And I even, at one point, too, the lady said, I am so filled with rage when I hear her voice that there is no possible way you're going to turn me into a vote. So skip the bullshit and get to the part. Pull up the list and take me off. I was ranting. I'm like, I don't even know how I got on the list. I'm not, this doesn't even make sense to me.
And meanwhile, the lady's like, Jesus, this is the 5th one today.
Yeah, I was
what
gonna
did
say,
we do?
I
They
think
must get a
probably.
lot of those.
And
Yeah.
if you pepper a whole county, and people probably are like, how did I get on this list? I shouldn't be receiving these phone
who's
calls.
doing robocalls? We're not. I'm getting lots of texts from Kamala,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
other than that,
Marionette Miller Meeks, because she's from 1932.
apparently,
She still thinks that's the way to canvas.
That's no good.
But you yelling at a Marionette Miller Meeks staffer is more than most people have done. You're doing more than
You're
most people
doing God's
have done.
work right now. That's what you're doing.
I have to be honest. I hate being on the phone. And when I got off, I felt real satisfied.
Good.
I did a victory lap around the house.
Good.
Made a fresh cup of tea. I was like, I am winning today. Shut down.
What's your goal, Heath?
I got a two-parter.
Oh,
Two-part goal.
My first goal is M. Night Shyamalan.
I like it. Okay, topic shift. Yep.
Yeah, I watched the movie Trap yesterday on streaming.
Is that the one with Josh Hartnett? Okay.
Hartnett, yep. And like I heard it was bad. That's why I watched it, because I heard it was like pretty bad. So I was interested to see like how bad it was.
Yeah.
And it varied. Sometimes it was boring and bad, and sometimes it was just insane and bad. And it's more funny. It's more fun to watch when it's just, unhinged.
Yes.
So that was nice. But it just
That was nice.
But there was just so many like anyone who's ever existed would know this is not how this is going to work out, right? Okay. The setting is this guy takes his daughter to a concert, and the police and the FBI are surrounding the place because they know a serial killer is somewhere in attendance. They have figured this out, right? Okay. Like, if you can get by that, like, how the fuck is the police going to know?
Yeah,
that
how did we get there? But okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Even if the serial killer bought a ticket and you knew about it, you don't know that he showed up,
True.
He could have bought that for his niece. I don't know. But anyway, so there's this concert, and then there are, like, the daughter really wants to see this concert. It's the character is basically Taylor Swift, right?
Okay.
Type thing.
Okay.
She's played by M. Night Shyamalan's daughter.
Oh, shoot.
Who's an actual singer, I figured out, because, like, I watched the credits, and, like, she's actually singing all these songs.
Okay.
So I think the whole movie was just sort of a commercial for her. Yeah, for her singing career.
So it should have just been called Nepo Baby.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And, like, the pacing was weird because there would be big chunks of the movie that was just her performing on stage, and it's because it's a commercial for her. But the daughter really loved the daughter in the movie really loved this singer, but still there was like huge stretches of the movie where her and her dad are like walking around the arena,
so
like they're not in the
concert.
Yeah. And it's just like. Yeah, and they're like the arenas, all the hallways and all that stuff are full of people. And it's like, no, that's not how concerts work. They'd be inside.
No. Yeah.
There would not be hundreds of people in line
Especially
at the
Taylor Swift. They stay there and they piss their pants. There is no getting up and leaving.
No.
And then I think the part that I made the loudest, like, oh my fucking God, about was the concert's over and they leave. It's still daytime out. This bitch did not give a noon concert. It's not daytime.
No. These are too big of plot holes to go over.
So he's never been to a concert, apparently.
No, I don't think so.
Oh. You think he might go to one as research.
You'd think.
Yeah. And then the end, I mean, I'll give him props for this. For whatever reason, the last 10 minutes of the movie, Josh Hartnett's shirtless.
Oh.
He just
Maybe they realized, okay, this is a bomb, so we got to salvage it somehow.
Right. Yeah.
Let's appeal.
Take off the shirts.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's in the scene talking to another character, and he takes his shirt off and buttons it up and folds it up and lays it on the table, and then just continues to have this conversation shirtless. It's unclear why.
Okay. Okay. Was it at least visually nice?
Yeah.
Okay.
He looked nice.
Good.
Yeah. And then he like ate a piece of pie when he didn't have a
Without
shirt.
a shirt?
Yeah. And I was like,
Okay.
I
I
don't
don't like that.
does.
Yeah.
and for some reason in my mind, I'm like, certainly there's a bucket on a frame that you can't see
He's
that
just
he's spitting
spitting
this
that
pie
out.
out in because you can't look like that.
Yeah,
and
and
eat pie. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, it's if you have Max, I wouldn't. It's not really scary at all, but it's kind of funny, I guess, unintentionally.
Okay.
So if you go in knowing it's going to be bad, like you did, then it might be enjoyable.
It might be okay.
Great.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, good to
I like
know.
that.
So yeah, but then my other unmitigated gall, which I'll keep it short, is when people slutty Halloween costumes that are based on children's toys or children's characters, I find gross.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of two guys dressed up as slutty Bert and Ernie the other day.
No.
Nope. Those are for
Don't
kids.
desecrate Bert and Ernie.
those are for kids, you guys. Don't do
Also,
that.
they full on wear turtlenecks and pants.
Yeah, like the shirts were just stopped here, like at their armpits.
Oh.
So then the torso's open and then they're wearing like hot pants and I'm just like, what?
Yeah, that's not.
That doesn't even make any sense.
Was it a turtleneck too?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God! So it's a turtleneck.
Yeah.
I want to dress the actual Bert and Ernie like that. Like have them wear hot pants and a shirt that stops at their armpits.
turtleneck crop top.
Oh, wow. Not even crop. Like that pre-boob is like, I don't know what the name for that is, but wow.
Mega crop.
A shrug.
Yeah. It's like if someone
crop.
used the rest of the fabric to make like the top of a dress, like without straps, and then they took this part. They're like, "Oh, put it on your shoulders."
Yeah. Oh, Bert. Perfect.
Yeah.
Wow. Agreed.
That's not right.
Yeah. If you want to be like a slutty bottle of ketchup, knock yourself out.
Sure.
You don't need to be like slutty My Little Pony or whatever.
Yeah, we all know Heinz is a big old slut, so that's fine.
That's so funny because where was I? I was in line somewhere and these two girls ahead of me were talking and she says, "Oh, what are you going to be for Halloween?" And they were probably college age. And she's like, "Just like a slutty little fairy." And she called it a slutty little fairy. And I was like, all right, well, at least you got your brand on point. Slutty little fairy.
I did see a tweet yesterday afternoon. I'm not on Twitter. But it was a tweet that someone shared on Instagram.
Yeah, sure.
That said
That's how I get them as well.
Yeah, that there's a white person somewhere who's going to ruin their life with whatever costume they wear tonight.
You're right. You're not wrong. Yeah, that's so true.
Tonight will be the night they take a picture that will come back years from now. That's sweet.
And they'll try to say everybody was doing it that year.
Nope. Yep. And the picture will show definitely not.
And they forgot that the internet existed.
Yeah.
We looked up the top 10 costumes and that wasn't it.
Well, my gall is small. It's fall bugs. And something that I discovered this year is called the minute pirate bug.
They are bullshit.
Oh.
Their name is deeply annoying.
Right? Okay, so
do they have eye patches? Is that why they're the pirate bug?
They're so small, I can't tell. But maybe they do.
God, I hope they do.
One of them legs is wooden.
It feels like it when they bite.
They bring a tiny parrot with them on their shoulder. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck they are. I don't know where the fuck they came from. And I don't know why the fuck they're everywhere. But they are. They're tiny black bugs with eye patches and wooden legs.
Just a side note, if you ever run for office, someone's going to take that quote and play it in an attack ad.
Yeah, that's true.
And put it over whoever is. Yeah, that's. Well, I said it. So, so these are tiny black bugs with wings that have covered my windows. They're just everywhere. And they fly in swarms outside. And these motherfuckers bite.
They hurt.
Hard.
They hurt.
I have a couple bites that will not heal. Like they're just there and they're still itchy and they're hurt. Thankfully, I think they're dying down now. But once they started to lessen, the ladybugs came. I know these are just some working women doing their best, but
they ain't no ladies.
They ain't no ladies because they have penetrated the domicile. They are all up on my dining room ceiling everywhere. They fly too. At least they provide some entertainment for the cats because they're chasing them everywhere. At least they don't bite. So in conclusion, fall bugs
are bullshit.
Are the devil's anus. And they can just... I was going to say they can bite me, but they have. They've bitten me.
They have.
I don't like it.
We've ruined,
Yeah. Like you said, there's so many other things that's full of gall. We'll, come back to it. It's been 2 months full of it. 2 months.
But I don't know about you. I'm just tired.
I'm tired of it.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
It feels like we're entering that slog towards the end of the year, and I'm just,
we're definitely entering. We're entering the slog towards November 5th, and then towards the end of the year. Yeah.
And it's just a lot. Oh, that was good.
We're decompressing as we speak.
Yes. I mean, it feels better to talk to you guys about it. Because as we said, we haven't talked for 2 months. At all.
Not at all.
Nope.
Yeah.
I forgot how to get here.
I did too.
At least you drove this time. Aaron was going to be pissed.
No, I've come to accept it now.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what's weird. He's throwing me off on purpose. I was like, for sure he's riding his bike today. And then I was like, I got up here and there's no bike on the porch. And I was like, oh, I hope he didn't get stopped by traffic. And then he came in a car. Well, one time you had to take a whole different route because some road was closed.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there was a shooting. And so... The police were investigating it.
Oh, yeah, bummer. Yeah.
There was a shooting.
I'm
weird
surprised
that they don't let bike traffic through.
Imagine that, yeah.
I promise I won't touch anything.
just need to get in through there.
Cue to Heath wiping out in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
My bad.
Damn it.
I think it was over there.
Oh shit, I found a bullet. You guys need that? Terrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, should we start on Halloween?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I think we probably all have all sorts of different things here because again, we gave ourselves no rules.
No rules.
No guidance whatsoever.
No guidance.
So here we go. What do you think, Erin? Why don't you go first?
I'm going to go first. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, I got a random wide range of things, but I'm going to start with my all-time favorite Halloween movie / any time of year movie / I'll watch anything with these people in it.
Okay.
And that's the Addams Family.
The one with
Yes, the 1991
Yeah.
version is my all-time favorite.
Angelica Houston.
And
And
Angelica
Raul
Houston.
Julia.
Yes. I just love them. I don't know what it
Yes.
is. I love everything about that. And I can remember the first time I saw this movie. I will rewatch this movie again and again and again, over and over, whenever possible. And like you mentioned, Raul Julia and Angelica Houston, Christina Ricci, young Christina Ricci, Christopher Lloyd was in it. They're great. And originally, this was supposed to be directed by Tim Burton, but he turned it down because he was in the middle of Batman Returns. So, but it has a Tim Burton feel to it because two of
definitely
his favorite screenwriters worked on this. So that have worked on a bunch of his other films. So there is some stuff that sort of feels like Burton-esque in it from their writing. Another fun fact, MC Hammer made a song for this called The Addams Groove.
That's right.
And it's probably his best hit after Can't Touch This.
I don't know. There's Too Legit to Quit. You can't deny Too Legit to Quit.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so maybe 3 is Addams Groove.
Thank you. Yes, that's exactly right.
You know, I have a backwards respect for MC Hammer because way to go on the Hammer Pants. I could use those.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone made fun of you, but what a genius way to introduce joggers.
Yeah.
You got to be pissed now that everyone's wearing them, and you're like, I did that. They were just a little baggier.
And he made it okay for super low crotches because sometimes, especially when you're wearing tights, those sag, and then you're just like, I'm just like Hammer. It's not like a bad thing.
You're right. Why is the crotch on tights so low?
So low.
It's
And
never.
then you have to start walking real careful because you're gonna rip that shit. It's no good.
MC Hammer made a way forward for low crotches. He did. He really forged
He was
that
like,
path.
I gotta.
Anything he's done, it's for the low crotch community.
He kicked down doors for the low crotch community.
And there's so many of us. Thank you, MC Hammer.
What I did not realize about the Addams Family movie is that this was based on a single panel comic featuring that family made by Charles Addams, spelled the same way, and it first premiered in the New Yorker way back in 1938. I was going to say 2, but it's 38, which I didn't realize that it was just like a comic that he started and then they turned it into all of this.
Wow.
So I love it. I love everything about it. I've watched the series Wednesday with Mason because also
Which was
great.
done by Tim Burton.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think it's wonderful. So there you go.
I loved Christina Ricci
Yes.
so much.
So
And
much.
everything that she said was just like, it was baby goth glory. It was
Yeah.
beautiful.
And then I read that the cast didn't like the original ending and they elected Christina Ricci to tell the director because they thought the director would have a harder time saying no to a girl. And he did take it. He listened to it and was like, yeah, that's actually a better way to do it. So the ending is the way that the cast kind of came up with and said it should be like this. Yeah.
Also, the second one had Joan
Cusack.
Oh,
Very
yes.
funny. Yeah.
Yes.
so good.
And the lady, I believe it was Carol Kane that played the grandma.
Yeah.
She, they said that she just smoked pot all day in her trailer because the makeup was so intense and heavy, the way they had to pull things and whatever, that it was actually painful. And so she would just smoke pot between takes so she couldn't feel it and could be weirder, I guess, on film.
Good for you, Carol
But
Kane.
that's what Angelica Houston said too, that she loved the movie, but it was a terrible shooting experience because they decided that her eyes should slant up. So the way they had to pull it and then cover makeup took hours.
And don't they always light her eyes in a
Yeah.
very specific way? Yeah.
And she would have to take it off halfway through the day because she would get such horrible headaches. She had to have some relief. So then they would have to redo it to shoot more stuff. Yeah. So heck of a commitment on her part.
Yikes.
But great movie. Great Halloween movie. Great
Yeah.
anytime movie, really. Very well
Good
done.
choice. Good
Yeah.
choice. All right. What about you, Heath?
I don't know if you've ever heard of a movie called Scream.
Oh, buggers.
But I have.
No, I haven't. Tell me all about
I have
it.
watched it dozens of times.
You go to every single new Scream movie that comes out.
There have been 6 of them. I've seen all of them in the theater.
Yep.
Really?
2023, I went to a movie theater to see Scream 6.
Yeah.
So
I love
that's
that.
your devotion.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
yeah. And I won't put up with this bullshit like a Jordan Creek with teenagers. Like, shut the fuck up, teenagers.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to talk, go somewhere else. Like, you're not going to talk during a Scream movie.
Do you make an announcement at the start? Be like, listen, I am 47 years old.
I like that.
So, Scream came out in December of 1996, not October. But I think it qualifies as a Halloween movie.
Why did it come out in December?
I
That's
know.
weird.
They really missed that.
Yeah, it came out like 5 days before Christmas.
Yeah.
I think I don't think the studio thought it was going to be much of a thing,
Yeah,
so they
that's
just
true.
were like, "We'll just
dump it.
yeah, get rid of it there." Wes Craven directed it, and he directed such family favorites as Nightmare on Elm Street and The People Under the Stairs, real crowd pleasers.
He was the creator of most of our childhood nightmares, I think. Yeah.
Yep. It was written by Kevin Williamson, who also created Dawson's Creek, and depending on how cringy you think Dawson's Creek is, it really shows how much range he has. Maybe you think this is all kind of the same thing. But the real-life serial killer Danny Rolling, also known as the Gainesville Ripper, who murdered 5 college students in Gainesville, Florida in 1990, kind of inspired the story, which is something I did not know before.
No, I didn't either.
Looking into this. So the film starts with Drew Barrymore, who's portraying teen Casey Becker, and she's home alone and takes a call from an unknown number. The person on the phone is almost flirty at first, asking her about her favorite horror movies, but then he turns out to be a real dick, and it's revealed that he's tied up her boyfriend on the back patio.
It's a tough move, yeah.
To save his life, the caller tells Casey that she has to correctly answer a series of questions about scary movies, and she gets a question wrong about Friday the 13th, specifically who is the killer in the first Friday the 13th film. Do you guys know?
No. It's not Jason?
It's Jason's mother.
Oh. I think I was too young. I mean, I watched it. But
I did too, but I think I
didn't retain it.
blocked a bunch out. Yeah.
So the boyfriend gets killed by someone in a ghost face mask, and then so does Casey. And besides Courtney Cox, Drew Barrymore was kind of the biggest star in the film, and nobody was expecting her character to be killed in the first scene of the movie. I mean, like she was on the poster and all this stuff. And so that's kind of when I knew this was going to be a little different than most scary movies that I had gone to see. So the news media immediately descends on Woodsboro, which is the town where Scream takes place, and we meet Gail Weathers, played by Courtney Cox. She's a reporter for a current affairs style tabloid TV show.
Current affairs. Yeah.
And when the movie was released, the entertainment industry was kind of under a lot of scrutiny because people were suggesting that violence in entertainment was making real life people more violent. So the film portraying how desperate news shows were to cover the violence was kind of intended to be a comment on how, violence was not something restricted just to the movies or TV or video games. So then there's Sidney Prescott, played by Neve Campbell, who's dealing with the fact that the first anniversary of her mother's rape and murder is approaching.
Jesus.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
Which really takes teen drama to a new and unexplored territory, I would say.
Oof.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a
Okay. Yikes.
So by the end of the movie, we figure out the killers are Sydney's boyfriend, Billy, and his friend Stu.
Skeet Ulrich.
I was
Matthew Lillard.
obsessed with both of them.
Ulrich.
Obsessed. Yeah, Skeet Ulrich. And now I'd be like, ugh.
Yeah.
Even Matthew Lillard.
I don't know. Yeah, even 1996 Skeet Ulrich can get it.
Yeah.
Are
he
you
can.
related to Matthew Lillard?
No. But when he started getting popular, I got that question a lot. Yeah.
You're like, yeah, it's like my second cousin.
Duh.
Yeah.
My husband. I know I'm 22, but it's my husband.
We just have a long distance relationship. He's on site filming right now.
It turns out that Sydney's mom had an affair with Billy's dad, and he had unresolved feelings about that. And Stu was just helping out because he was a lunatic.
Oh, they just have big feelings. They don't know how to express them.
Sometimes
So they murder.
Just murders.
One of the fun things about Scream and its sequels is not only trying to figure out who the killer is in each movie, but also why they did it. And if memory serves, here are the motives. I wrote these down so I wouldn't forget them. Here are the motives for the killers for each movie.
Okay.
Number 1, your mom had an affair with my dad. Number 2, you killed my son. Number 3, I'm your half-brother and you ignored me. The fourth one was I want to be famous. The fifth one was I want to murder a famous murderer's daughter. And the sixth one was you killed my son again.
That's a toughie to get past. I mean,
Yeah.
I had Scream down on my list, but only because when I went to see it in the theater, and now that I'm thinking it must have been Scream 2, I turned around to leave and someone had the Scream mask on.
Oh, no.
Yeah, like there was a rash of people doing that,
Oh
and
my
I
God.
got up to leave the theater, turned around, and I was like, ah! And you don't know what to do because am I going to walk by that person? Because they were just sitting there with it on. And it in my head, I had it as the first Scream movie, but it had to be the second because there's no way they would have had a mask yet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be.
So it had to be the second
Yeah.
one. But
And the second one, that's the way the second one starts, is they're like, it's, they've made a movie about what happened in the first one.
yes.
And so it's a movie theater full of people in ghost face masks. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, this is not, yeah.
That's no good.
That's spooky.
Yeah.
So when the movie came out, expectations, as we talked about, were pretty low. It was released, like I said, just a few days before Christmas, but no one had ever really made a movie that was both kind of funny and scary. So the movie was criticized for that, but the combination of humor and scares kind of reinvented the horror genre and led to lots of Scream-type films like I Know What You Did Last Summer and Urban Legend.
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Which is, I just still think the best name for a movie ever is I Still Know What You Did Last
Yes,
Summer.
Didn't forget. Didn't forget, bitches. Still know what you did last summer. Which is your favorite out of all of them?
My ranking was 1 was the best, and then 2, and then 3 was the worst, and then they kind of progressively got better.
Okay.
So, I guess it's 1, 2, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Okay.
Wow.
But I have recently rewatched all of them but the first one in like the last month.
Oh.
Doing the research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 3's better than I remembered.
Okay.
It's better than I remember. It's fun watching Jenny McCarthy get killed.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
That's satisfying.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen any besides the first 2.
You very valiantly, each time a new Scream would come out, like, you want to come? And I'm like, no, thank you.
Fun.
Appreciate it.
I remember once when the new Halloween came out, like in 2018, I think I texted like
Yeah.
7 people. I was like, does anybody want to go see this movie with me? Crickets. Not
Yep.
a damn
Nope.
person responded.
Nope.
Nobody was interested.
Yeah, that's a big negatory. Yeah.
Scream 7 comes out in February of 2026.
Well, you know what? Maybe we need to do a Fuzzy Memories field trip and go with Heath to Scream 7.
Do we?
Okay, nope, Amy's out.
I
Sorry,
hate
I
it.
tried. Amy's out.
I love Heath, but
It's funny. I'm always trying to get my husband to watch them too, and he won't. And he says it's not because he thinks they're too scary. He just doesn't want to watch them. And I'm just like, okay.
that's not true.
Yeah.
He thinks it's too scary. He
thinks
doesn't
it's
want to
scary.
admit it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Well, my first one, I'm going more with themes, I
like
think.
that. Okay.
Things that happen around Halloween. And I wanted to talk about favorite costumes
Oh,
growing up
good
in the
idea.
80s and 90s. We had some primo pop culture things to draw upon
did.
for our costumes. And I think my favorite costume was my own Madonna costume. Circa 1985, so it was like Desperately Seeking Susan era
Okay.
Madonna. I mean, I'm talking lace gloves. I'm talking lots of chain necklaces. Some big taffeta skirt thing
wow.
going on. I don't know if Mom put makeup on me or not. Probably. My hair was all poofy and everything, and I felt amazing.
Like a virgin.
Still didn't know what that was, but yes. Well, I had got her like cassette, her first one, like a
Yeah.
virgin, without knowing what that was.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is amazing. And I think I watched Desperately Seeking Susan, which I really shouldn't have. And I was all in, and I was very, very proud of myself. But the runner-up to that is a costume that I made my brothers wear, because it was an idea that I came up with, which was Hans and Franz from Saturday Night Live. Because my brothers are twins.
Oh my
They were very
gosh.
little, probably like 5 or something. No, it had to be a little older than that. But so I put them in sweatsuits, put newspaper in their arms so they had like muscle. And then I coached them on the I'm Hans, I'm Franz, we're here to pump you up. And it was epic.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Pretty great.
I love
It was
that.
pretty great. So I want to know, what are your favorite costumes that you had growing up?
I had one that I was really proud of, that I went as like a weird scientist, like a mad scientist.
Oh.
But mom knew someone that had we worked in a lab, so they sent me like a real lab coat, and I thought that was like legit. So I was really pumped, and I had like fake glasses that I broke and taped in the middle, and I wore a like crazy wig, like Albert Einstein wig. That was my favorite costume, hands down.
That's fantastic.
Because the best one, like homemade, like you had to create, get all the pieces and make it yourself. Mm-hmm. I was trying to think of other ones, and nothing else really sticks out besides that one. That really
That's the thing. I couldn't remember any others besides Madonna.
I think when I worked at B. Dalton in the mall,
Yep.
we had to dress up for Halloween because they had a trick or treat in the mall, and you had to have two people stand outside and give candy. And I, being the young, like the lowest man on the totem pole, the two of us that got hired last always had to do the outside Halloween. And one time we dressed up as Snow White and the Wicked Witch, which was phenomenal. And then another time we dressed up just as two penguins, and the kids went nuts for the penguins.
I bet.
There was a lot of picture taking in the penguin outfit, but yeah. Mm-hmm. Those are memorable, but other than that, I don't. Besides the Weird Scientist, that one stings out to me.
I think besides Madonna, I had a lot of just like store bought, like Dracula or things like that. Not a big deal, but yeah. What about you, Heath?
I think probably my favorite one. I was in college in one year. I went as Mary Catherine Gallagher.
Fantastic! Like short skirt and everything.
Yeah, like we went to Goodwill and we got. I found the short sleeve white shirt and a vest and a plaid skirt and all this stuff. And I got, I went to Payless shoe stores and bought shoes.
Yes.
And I had the white stockings that came up to your knee. I remember it was the year the movie came out, the Superstar movie. So it was right around this time. Like it had come out like 2 weeks before Halloween. And so in that movie, she kisses a tree a lot. So there like 19 times that night, like I had to do that to a tree or a pole in the bar we were in. Like I put my mouth on stuff I should not have put my mouth on.
Not at all.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I liked that one. And I still got it in a box at home. I don't know why it's moved 19 times with me since then.
Because it was,
And you didn't wear it today?
Yeah. I wasn't thinking.
Yeah. Can you imagine if he showed up in costume?
On his bike.
Through a crime scene.
That's when I would have approached upon another crime scene dressed as a Catholic
Mary
schoolgirl.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Wow. I bet all the trees in Cedar Falls are like, I remember that guy.
Yeah.
He made sweet love to me. Yeah.
One year, a different year, my friends and I went as Super Friends. I was Superman.
Oh.
And one of my friends. I know that's, don't at me. We're mixing DC and Marvel, but one of my friends was the Incredible Hulk.
Okay.
Which, he just painted himself green. And so our house that we rented, had green paint all over it for weeks afterwards.
Yeah.
It's easy to spread that out. Another friend of mine, he dressed up as Wonder Woman. So he's wearing a women's bathing suit. That's what the costume was.
Nice.
Wow.
I remember at the bar we were at, there was a costume contest, and so they now it's this group, and you have to go, and you'd walk around the pool table is how they did it. But my friend who was dressed as Wonder Woman had we'd had some beers. Mm-hmm. He got on the pool table and started sort of writhing around a little bit, he was putting on a show. Yeah. And there was a rip we found out in this bathing suit that
in the genitalia area.
That was so that became evident while he was rolling around on a pool table.
So everyone got a free show. Show.
Yep. And then our fourth friend that was part of it, he was wearing a child's Batman costume that he just would nowhere near fitting him. Like he just pulled it on as much as he could. It was too short. His arms stuck out. It was funny.
I like it.
Did you guys win?
We did not win, no.
Oh, even with the, brain hanging out?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Uh-huh.
Thought you guys were a shoo-in after that.
I think my other favorite costume as an adult was one year Michael and I went as a container of yogurt, and Michael was Jamie Lee Curtis.
Nuh-uh. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a great couple's costume.
Uh-huh.
There was one year early in the 2000s, I went with my ex as Pamela and Tommy Lee. And
That's
so
a good couple.
I got to stuff my bra, and it felt fantastic.
Amazing.
I kept catching them out of the corner of my eye, whoa, okay. Damn, that's what it's like. Okay.
That's
okay.
amazing.
Yeah.
Well, in true fashion, I had to bring the weirdest true crime thing
Yes,
from Halloween.
you did.
From Iowa.
Oh.
Yeah. This happened in 1982.
Okay.
Marvin Brandland and his wife were handing out candy in their Fort Dodge, Iowa home.
Oh, boy.
It's all tracks.
Yep. And a man in a mask came to their door and said, trick or treat, give me your money or I'll shoot you.
Oh.
And they just thought it was an elaborate prank. So the couple laughed and tried to unmask him. But the man was not having it, pushed them inside the house, pulled out a gun, and demanded the money that they kept in a basement safe. Marvin tried to grab the gun, but the man shot him in the throat and fled.
Whoa!
Somehow the mask was left behind, and since no one else knew about the safe except family members, it was assumed that someone in the family was behind the robbery. But even with DNA in the mask and a family member bragging that he did it, it was never solved. They never arrested anyone. Yeah.
How does it not solved if someone's saying they did it?
I know.
Right?
Yeah. Bragging that they did it.
Also, I'd like to, not to blame the safe community, but I'd like to keep in mind, like, if you keep safes in your basement full of your goddamn money, of course someone's going to show up. When your money's on site locked up, they're going to show up and they're going to be like, give it to me.
That's a good point.
The number one rule of safes is never to say you have a safe.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the rule. It should be behind a picture. It should be somewhere no one knows.
Under the floor?
Yeah. Yeah. That's how it should be. It should always be a secret.
Maybe that was the issue. Maybe at one family gathering, he's like, oh my God, you guys, I just got this awesome safe.
Yeah.
I filled all my money in it.
I took all my money out of the bank and I put it in the safe.
And then there's this cousin like, God damn it, I hate Uncle Mike. So I am going to go do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was his own fault, really.
And really, I got to believe, I don't want to blame the victim here, but I also feel like, he might be pre-MAGA guy. Like, I don't trust the banking system, so I took all my cash out and I put it in the safe downstairs, and the password's my birthday. Because how did he get in the safe and get all the money out after you shot the guy? Like, you had to get the...
Wait, so he did get all the money,
Yeah.
the guy? Oh.
Yeah.
So
How
no
much
wonder
money
he was
was it?
bragging about it.
I don't know. It didn't say, but...
Did the guy that got shot in the throat, did he die?
Yeah, he died.
Oh. Yeesh.
It's a tough lesson.
Yeah, it is a tough lesson. And
Permanent lesson.
I mean, to be fair, I would have thought it was a prank too on Halloween.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think I'm as ballsy as to take someone's mask off. Right?
No,
Be like, oh,
no,
funny.
no,
Move along. But I mean,
I think I would have backed up and like, okay, we're closed for business.
yeah.
But
we're out of candy.
I mean, this is also assuming that I would answer the door,
Right.
which I do not. I actively do not on Halloween. Yeah.
That's smart.
Do you just keep all the lights off, or do you just sit inside where they can see you and they knock and you're like, fuck you, I'm not answering the door?
That's happened before because I keep my front lights off, but I have lights on inside because I'm inside. And then there's been times trick-or-treaters will see one of the cats at the door and they're like, well, we got to go see that cat, especially when it was Thelma. And so then they'd knock on the door and I'm like, no, you can look at the cat all you want, but I don't got nothing else for you.
Get a job, buy your own candy.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly.
Learn the system. If the front light is off, then do not approach.
Yeah, not a hard system. Not a hard system.
All right, what about you, Heath? What's next?
I want to talk about candy.
Oh, yeah, you do?
At our house, we always handed out Tootsie Rolls on Halloween, and I always thought that they were kind of janky candy option. But I think the reason my mom bought those was because if she bought better candy, we'd eat it all before Halloween.
True.
She was trying to keep us from doing that.
Yeah.
Also, I think she just didn't want to give decent candy to trick-or-treaters, and I think it was maybe like a low-key way of telling kids that what she thought of them, like,
Which I can actually get behind.
Yeah.
here's some trash candy for you, you piece of shit.
You're going to come to my door? This is what I got for you.
Which fair enough. I mean, that might have been directed at her own kids, too. Like, I don't know. I can't. She's not here. I can't speak for her. So I went on the internets, and according to candystore.com, which ironically does not sell candy. I think they just talk about candy. Here are we got the top 10 and bottom 10 Halloween candies for this year.
Okay.
For this year?
Yeah, I tried to find stuff for the 80s and 90s, and all I could find was like a list that was like, in the 90s, Skittles were popular. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
It's like, based on what? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know. It was the shit people put on the internet that they think is important. It's not real.
Well, someone went out and bought the domain candystore.com and decided this is my life's
Someday
work.
this is going to be worth $1 billion.
I'm going to populate the site. It's
Lindy,
my life's work.
Lindy, guess what it did? It's going to pay dividends in like 20 years.
Along with those Beanie Babies on the back hall.
Well, I have the Princess Di Beanie Baby, so I am set.
Oh, All I gotta do is place that ad, sell that thing, and retire.
Get the right sucker to bite, and I'm good.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't agree with everything on these lists, but I think generally speaking, they get it right more than they get it wrong. So we'll start with the top 10 candy, and I'll do these from the best to the 10th best, so everyone's clear.
Okay.
M&M's.
Is the top one.
That's the top one.
All-time top. Okay.
Yep. And I would say, considering that there's 95,000 different kinds of M&Ms, like it's kind of easy.
Okay.
I mean, they might have just won just sheerly by, how many different varieties there are.
True.
Market saturation.
Right.
Yeah.
Number 2 was Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, which I think is maybe the perfect candy.
It is.
I do feel like, though, with the big ones, you either have to eat the whole thing in one bite, or it's gonna melt all over your hands.
Yes, there is a time factor.
My favorite size is the little size that has like the tinfoil wrapper.
Yeah.
Perfect chocolate peanut butter ratio.
Yeah.
Pop it in. You're good to go.
Yeah. And it feels like you're working a little bit to get your treat, right?
Yeah.
It's like when they put peanut butter in one of those things for a dog.
Yeah.
They have to, they have to try.
This is going to occupy me for hours.
I got to unwrap this peanut butter cup.
No calls, please. I'm unwrapping peanut butter
unavailable.
Number 3 is a real question mark for me. Head scratcher. Sour Patch Kids.
No. Disagree. Kids love that shit, though.
They do.
Kids themselves are actually Sour Patch Kids. Like, they're nice 1 minute and then awful.
Oh.
And
Maybe
then
that's
they're
why
nice again. Yeah.
They recognize a kinship.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah okay.
Yep. Number 4, Skittles. And I think the Skittles are delicious, and they are best consumed after they've been separated by color.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And this begs the question, is Skittles segregation okay? Probably not.
I'm going to say yes, which I may be on the wrong side of history with
I'm
this
going to
one.
say yes, too, because I do
yeah.
it, so I have to, I mean,
and when I get the wild berry Skittles, I have to cut out the green ones. Like, they're not going to see the light of day. They're every other color is fine, but the green ones,
What flavor is the green and wild berry?
I don't know. Maybe lime.
I see. I like the green ones and wild berry.
I'll save all my green ones for you.
Okay. I'll eat them.
Well, see, and number 5 is Starburst, and I love yellow Starburst.
Me
there are
too.
people that hate yellow Starburst.
Yes, that's my favorite one.
I think the yellow one's the best.
It's so good. Yeah.
I feel like the pink ones I like the least, and there are people.
That's
like,
my second favorite. Yeah.
God, I haven't had Starburst in a long time.
Again, a lot of work. You got
A lot of work.
And they need to be kind of peak Starburst because you can get a hard one that
And you got to
goes nowhere.
Yeah, that's no.
Yeah, if you bite into a hard Starburst and you're not prepared for it, oof.
Not at our age.
No.
We're going to lose a tooth.
Yeah.
Number 6 is hot tamales, and I will say spicy candy is not for me.
No, gross.
I know they're probably not really that spicy.
I cannot believe hot tamales made the list.
Gross.
Yeah.
That's questionable at best.
Number 7 is candy corn. And
Fuck you. Candy corn? Come on.
But these are also, I mean, not to ruin the worst candies list, but they're also on the worst candies list. So I don't know. Apparently they're real divisive. It's the real, candy corn's the abortion of Halloween candy.
Oh, no.
I think people are.
I thought we collectively agreed that it could be decor, like you see candy corn stuff everywhere. But no, what is it? It's just waxy weirdness.
Yeah.
Like waxy sugary weirdness. Yep. I have to pair it with a peanut or I can't even eat it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, when you put the roasted peanuts and it tastes like a salted nut roll.
Yeah. That I can handle, but yeah.
Okay.
Together, but on their own, what you bring into the table.
Right. Candy corn I'm okay with. I don't like the pumpkin things that sometimes come in them.
Oh, those really thick,
Yeah.
solid pumpkins.
no.
Those are disgusting.
Yeah, they're gross.
The pumpkin feels like you're an addict and you have been sober for 3 years and you're like, this is a bad idea, and you do it and you're like, it's sweet, but I feel so bad about myself.
Yeah.
And then it's just a gateway and then it's over.
Then you're back in rehab. 8, Hershey's Kisses. Again,
What?
these kind of taste good, but a lot of work. You got to unwrap all of them.
Yeah.
And then number 9 was Hershey Mini Bars, which I think is the same thing. I mean, it's the same thing as Kisses, it's just in a different shape. So I don't know why these are separate. And then number 10 is Butterfinger. And I feel like solid number 10.
I do love Butterfinger.
Yeah.
And my only gripe with the Butterfinger is that, like the plot from any Ryan Murphy show, they fall apart too easily.
Yeah.
When you bite into them, it's just,
Any Ryan Murphy show.
Once you start interacting with it, you're done. Yeah.
Yep. So that's the top 10, but now I have questions.
Okay.
Oh, Where the fuck is Snickers?
That was my number one question.
Uh-huh. Where the fuck is Twix?
Twix.
Where are the Kit Kat bars?
Yeah.
Don't bring me Sour Patch Kids and be like, what's Snickers? I don't know.
Yeah. Don't bring me Sour Patch Kids and leave off Twix and Kit Kat. Two solid choices.
I'll just read through the 10 worst real quick.
Okay.
These aren't even worth considering. Good and Plenty.
Fuck you. Good and Plenty. Are they even in existence? Can you buy them?
I hope not.
There's a box of them in a movie theater somewhere that still exists that they're trying to sell.
They're stuck under a chair.
Also, the name isn't even Good and Plenty.
Nope.
It's
No,
like
thank
Sarah
you.
Plain and Tall. Why? Why?
There's Bit O' Honey.
What?
Nope.
Ew.
No thanks. Smarties.
I kind of like a Smartie.
I like a Smartie. A Smartie. Black licorice. Yuck.
Oh.
I don't know. Whoever decided that like savory candy was a thing.
Gross.
Like I just yuck. Wax bottles.
Oh, I forgot about those.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got a very visceral memory of those.
You did. Your whole face went.
Which is it's like they got the sugary juice in them, and then you're supposed to eat
why are
the
they
bottle
feeding
too.
us wax?
Right.
Why did they?
So much wax.
So
they colored
much.
it like a candy corn. They put juice in it. They were like, eat the wax.
The wax lines our tummies. That's why they hurt. Along with your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pies that are still in there.
That's what that wax is just trying to degrade all these years, and that's what causes our digestive issues.
Oh, God.
Because
like
if you
candle
try to
factory in
get
there.
wax off something, it's
Yeah.
not always easy.
Something called Mary Jane's.
Is that just pot?
Well,
Did we
that's
get-
what I thought too.
Yeah.
Is it a candy cigarette?
I don't
I mean,
remember.
candy
what the-
cigarettes was a whole thing too.
Yeah.
That was,
Mary Jane's, huh?
Something called Necco wafers,
Yeah.
which is not to be confused with Nilla wafers, which are
Oh.
the little cookies.
Those are so much worse. They look like Smarties, but they're bigger.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they're like, they could be all chocolate, but they're like chalky.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I feel like they're made from old chalk, and then someone like somehow took the flavor out.
Yes.
So it's just like just eat chalk.
yeah.
This feels
Save
like
yourself.
it indicates what people thought of children, in the 50s and 60s when these first started being developed. Let's give them wax. Let's give them chalk.
Uh-huh.
And
give
just
them all
a
the
bit
things.
of honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a bit of honey.
Here, as promised, candy corn on next on the list.
Mm-hmm.
So, then there's peanut butter kisses, which is not Hershey kisses.
Ew.
These are wrapped in those orange and black
Those are
waxy
awful.
paper.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-uh.
And I feel like when you call something peanut butter kisses, like you feel like you're getting something else, and it's just
Yeah.
like this
Yeah, that's
sort
so
of
good.
nasty.
yeah, it's a real bait and switch thing. And then the apparently least popular Halloween candy is circus peanuts.
Oh. I had a love-hate with those
I
growing
did
up.
too.
Because I would, give me 3 of them, and and then the fourth one, oh, God, I'm going to
Went too
puke.
far.
So candy.
Wow. Well, I actually thought of candy as well, and I was thinking about how, our choices in the 80s and 90s were a little different. We didn't have, colored Oreos
No.
or any of the fun stuff like that.
Nope.
But I want to say something controversial and maybe defend a candy that others don't like, which is Three Musketeers. I love a Three Musketeers bar.
Oh.
It's got a little of everything. It's got some chocolate. It's got some fluffy nougat. It's got just
Nothing
sorta-
else. A little bit of everything, and you have to stop after the nougat.
Yeah.
Some people say it's boring, and I say nay. It is delicious. But I feel like when I've professed my love for Three Musketeers in the past, it's often been met with, "Huh." Or what?
I'm meeting you with that right now.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
So
I figured I might get some of that. Yeah.
if
yeah.
Amy's looking at a candy bowl, she's picking a Three Musketeers.
Yes.
What are you picking?
I will eat a Milky Way or a Three Musketeer
Mm-hmm.
if I want something sweet and that's all that's there.
Yeah.
I'm-
Okay. Yeah.
I like a Snickers bar.
Yeah.
I like a Twix bar.
Mm-hmm.
I like Skittles.
Skittles are good.
Yeah.
Skittles are great.
Yeah.
What are you picking?
I'm a big in the Twix category.
Okay,
If it's a
yeah.
chocolate thing, I'm probably picking a Twix. Although Butterfinger's a close second, depending. if I'm by
Kit
myself and I
Kats,
spill it all
I
over
will
me.
take a Kit Kat.
Yeah, Kit Kat. Otherwise, I'm probably, if I'm in the candy era, it's either red licorice or Skittles. Yeah.
So I just needed you to know that where I fall on candy is Three Musketeers is my jam. I
like
will
that.
fuck with a Three Musketeers.
I like that. I like that.
Give me a
That's good to
king
know.
size Three Musketeers.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
I think it's funny. I think it's got a funny name because it doesn't have anything
It
to
makes
do.
no sense.
It doesn't even have 3 ingredients.
Oh, it doesn't.
No, 3
That
layers.
too.
No.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't really know what that is. Maybe it's some sort of code like, hey, if you find another person who likes Three Musketeers, they're your buddies.
You just have to find one more.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's two of you.
Good luck.
So apparently what I'm hearing is I didn't find my Three Musketeers here today. Did not. Okay.
I'm literally probably never picking up a Three Musketeers.
Okay, well,
I mean, I guess if it's like you're at a place and it's a candy bowl and that's all that's left and you're like, I got to do something to pass the time.
See what you
I'll
got to do
probably
instead.
eat around the nugget on the outside
What?
and then, kind of play with it and then eat it.
The nugget's the best part.
I
think the only part. What are you talking about?
All right, what's your last one, Erin?
My last one is just haunted houses.
Oh, they can fuck themselves.
They can, but I will tell you how to turn a haunted house on its head.
Oh.
Okay. So I will say that I had a couple really bad haunted house experiences. Mm-hmm. And then in high school, this was like younger high school. And then when I was, I think I was a junior, school that I went to, we were required to have so many service hours a year. And I don't know why this counted as service because I think a charity was putting it on, but they were putting on a haunted house and they need volunteers to help with it. So I was like, okay, cool. So I thought we were just doing like behind the scenes stuff. But when I went there for the volunteer meeting, they were like, hey, would you mind dressing up as the bride of Frankenstein? Or a dead bride. I guess it wasn't a Frankenstein, dead bride. And basically people walk into this room and then you're on the side of it and you walk in after everyone and just scream. Oh. That's it. That's your whole job. And then to leave. And I was like, yeah, that seems great. Right. And so being on the other side of a haunted house and watching people freak out I still remember people's faces distinctly because they were so terrified because it's dark and they get led into this room that has a door and then I'm on the other side of it and I come in behind them quietly and usually the two people here might notice me and jump a little bit, but then they just said scream as loud as you can, just top of your lungs, scream. So that's what I did, and people would absolutely turn around and scream back in my face, just straight, because they were terrified. They're and then you would just leave, and it was a great time. Loved the makeup. I got to wear an old wedding dress that was covered in fake blood. It was terrific.
Did someone give you water so you could, like, between screams?
Yes. Yeah, I did have water. And I think I had, like, a hot tea or something, too, because it's hard to scream that many times a night. Like, yeah. And I had to do it 2 different weekends, I think, so there was a break. Yeah.
Did you, like switch it up at all? Like, did you say anything weird? Like, sometimes you just scream, like, just, and then somebody would be like, son of a bitch, or whatever.
Sometimes, for a while, towards the end of the night when your throat gets sore, sometimes I'd practice just walking in and being like, hello. And this person would scream enough that everyone else would scream, so you wouldn't have to, but yeah.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. You had to be careful to be out of, like, too much, some people's instinct is to throw up an arm, like, get away from me. So you had to kind of position yourself correctly as to not get hit, but...
Oof.
That's no good.
Never been a fan.
My this isn't really something I want to talk about, but I'm going to acknowledge it existed.
Oh,
okay.
Those leaf bags that looked like jack-o'-lanterns that people would keep on their lawns.
Oh my god! I forgot about those.
I hated those things so much, and I don't know why.
Oh my god!
Do you see them anymore? I don't think I've
Not
seen
really.
them in years.
I haven't seen one in a long time.
Maybe because we've been talking about how there's inflatables now everywhere. Yeah. Like my neighbors right now have 3 inflatables plus a skull, and apparently there's another one down the street. So
very questionable.
Maybe before inflatables, the thing was let's do some lawn work while doing some fall decor.
Let's be festive with our lawn work.
Yeah, and I think probably somebody whoever thought of it was just like, oh yeah, 2 birds, whatever,
Yeah.
But like I remember in Parkersburg, what would happen is people would do this, and then they would sit on their front lawns all winter long. Like, because I mean, these things were giant. They weren't like, they were too big.
That's right.
Unruly.
Yeah, and like whoever comes around and does the like yard waste collection, I think by the time Halloween it was here, like they were done doing that. And these weren't like, like the approved bags or whatever.
That's right.
So they would just sit there, and then like people would put up, and this is a real peek inside of my brain, is then people would put up Christmas lights. I'd be like, you can't have both at the same time.
You cannot have both at the same
It's not
time.
allowed.
God. No,
It's
absolutely not.
Chaos. It's just
You're
unwieldy.
right. They got all deteriorated, and they'd rip a hole, and all these soggy leaves would start to come out. And...
I need to tell you that my neighbors in front of me have Christmas lights on already.
Already?
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I understand the idea of putting them on the house when it's still warm out, so you're not freezing your ass off. But I don't think you should turn them on until. Do they think they're like Halloween lights?
What I can't tell is during the summer, they have such tree cover that I never even see their house. So I don't know if they just keep it on all year long and I don't see it.
Oh, that's
but
a possibility.
now that the leaves have come down, I've been seeing it. No idea. Or they're just saying, fuck it, this year we need Christmas now.
Have you guys felt like the Halloween decorations have ramped up? Like the number of houses decorated in our neighborhood is way higher than it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a thing.
Yeah.
Like a concerted thing people are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Well, that was a blast from the past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, woo, trash bags, like jack-o'-lanterns. I had forgotten about those totally. What a gem.
I'm sorry you hated them so much.
I did.
Did you ever kick one? I kicked a lot of them.
I don't think I did. I think I would just would just narrow my eyes and just like, ooh, you're so gross.
Oh,
Every time
they
I
got
see
the
them.
glare.
Yeah.
Well, we did Halloween. We did it good.
We did it real good.
We did it real good.
Halloween will never be the same.
Never be the same. So next up is we're going to revisit the years. We're going to go back through the 80s, go back through the 90s. We're going to call back to some stuff. We're going to find new things to talk about because they
we're
were
back.
chock-full.
Season 2, bitches.
Back. Season 2.
Okay.
Is that how we end it?
Yeah, that's where we end it. Right there.
Freestyle rapping. I'm Little Kim in the Lady Marmalade remake.
That's a great soundbite right there. I'm Little Kim in the Lady Marmalade.
Fuzzy Memories is a Broads and Brooks production. It's hosted by Heath Smith, Aaron Johnston, and Amy Lee Lillard. Follow us at Fuzzy Memories Pod on Instagram for clips and highlights. And follow us at Broads and Books Productions for updates on new shows coming your way. See you next time.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have one more tidbit I'd like to add.
Yes, please.
This is just a throwback, listeners. If you didn't listen to the Christmas special, I guess you got a chance coming up. But in 1986, the top Halloween costume was California Raisin.
Oh, my God. Did you wear the California Raisin? You were a little too young at that point,
I don't
right?
think anyone else really appreciated my love of the California Raisin, so I didn't get that opportunity. But yeah, I would have, gladly.
Yeah.
Just wanted everyone to know that.
You're validated.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel vindicated.
Give the California Raisins the respect they deserve.
Yeah, exactly.